This summer has been absolutely insane for Hedera. Let's just be honest here. We've been talking about all of these big updates, and it seems as though June was massive, July was even bigger. I can't wait to see what August has in store for us for Hedera. It seems as though this summer it's been a Hedera heat wave at this point, and I think that it's only heating up more and more. Almost every single update that we see from Hedera, it's almost as if they're trying to one-up themselves. If we take a quick look at what's happened in the summer so far for Hedera, let's take a quick look at how crazy this summer has been. Number one, right off the rip, Hedera technology is utilized in Project Acacia, and this is actually in Australia with the RBA, right, the Reserve Bank of Australia, with HBAR, the DFCRC, and even Hedera. This is exploring how real world use cases can happen with digital money. Hedera was selected to support a pilot issuance of wholesale CBDC, a major milestone for regulated digital finance. On top of that, Verifiable compute breakthrough. Equity Lab just launched its Verifiable compute platform on NVIDIA Blackwell in collaboration with NVIDIA, Scan Computers, Accenture, and even Hedera. A new era for sovereign policy-aligned AI starts now. These two announcements here, for those that are actually new to the space, I just want you guys to understand this, right? For an example, if we go back to 2021, any one of these two announcements alone would have had HBAR trading at 300% plus in a week. Again, I say this because a lot of people think that not much is happening, but these announcements are some of the biggest announcements that we've seen in crypto forever. Like, these are insane announcements. And I want you guys to understand that, like, if we go back to 2021, these announcements would have been like the biggest thing ever. Today, it's common. And it's common because Hedera makes it common. We have announcements like this happen almost on a daily basis now from Hedera. Again, this should tell you where HBAR is headed. But on top of that, we have the UK first tokenized FX collateral on Hedera. Lloyds Bank, Aberdeen, and Archix Exchange completed the UK's first institutional FX trade using tokenized assets on Hedera. And by the way, if we take a quick look at this, big shout to Smoke Dog for this press release. Hedera blockchain powers first ever FX trade with tokenized collateral by Lloyds Bank and Aberdeen in a $5.4 trillion daily UK FX market, $1.3 quadrillion annually, a landmark collaboration. HBAR is securing its place in financial history. And if we actually look at this, I mean, guys, just look at how big this is. The fact that we have this in writing in a press release should tell you where this space is headed. In a UK first initiative, tokenized units of Aberdeen Investments money market fund and tokenized UK gilts were used as collateral for foreign exchange trades between Aberdeen and Lloyds. These digital tokens were issued, transferred, and securely held by Archix, a UK FCA regulated digital asset exchange on the Hedera Hashgraph public permission blockchain. The UK trades $5.4 trillion a day in FX and interest rate derivatives, accounting for half of the global activity. And Hedera is there making its name known at the center of this. It's insane that these are the announcements that we're seeing from Hedera that's not even in the top 10 in terms of the market cap listings for altcoins. This should tell you where HBAR is headed. Now, on top of that, let's go and look at a few other things that have happened this summer so far. HTE launches Hedera to Earn. Meet Hedera to Earn, a cross-app rewards platform powered by the HTE reward token and Blade wallet. Live with 24 million plus users in partnership with Cash Tree Global, Mars Labs, and Barry Fox. Again, another huge announcement with a ton of exposure for HBAR and the Hedera network. This is what we want to see from these types of projects. We want to see more and more adoption being targeted, more exposure, and that's exactly what this is doing. It's exposing the Hedera network and the gas token here, which is HBAR, to 24 million plus users. I talked about this even with the Robinhood listing, right? Robinhood, I think it was what, 50 million users, I want to say. I might be wrong on that, don't quote me, but these are the types of announcements that we want to see happen in this space because it's building that pathway to millions of new users that can tap in on these networks. And also on top of that, Hello Future Hackathon Origins. The $550,000 Hello Future Hackathon is live with Chapter 1 Origins July 21st through August 8th. Build AI agents, reimagine DeFi, tackle sustainability, legacy builders, DevX entrants, and newcomers all welcome. On top of that, big wins for Web3 policy. The House passed the Bipartisan Clarity Act and Genius Act. That was signed into law to establish stablecoin rules in the UK. The wholesale digital market strategy was also released. This is also all signs that real momentum for digital asset regulation is now picking up. And also a focus on the adoption of this technology and how disruptive it is going to be is also here in clear sight. We are going to forge a path to mass adoption from this point on. And these types of networks, like Hedera, for example, that are extremely efficient, scalable, cost-effective, these are going to be the ones that really become the future that the financial system basically runs on. And I think that it's happening even within the US and outside of the US, especially with this recent announcement. I mean, guys, this is crazy. You know, $5.4 trillion per day, $1.3 quadrillion annually. I mean, this announcement alone is just, it's mind-blowing how undervalued Hedera actually is. And also, number 7, Hedera in the headlines. Yeah, Hedera has been making a ton of noise. This is very, very exciting because, again, when we go back to 2021, I just want to go back in time a little bit because, and I know that I do this quite often with Hedera, but the fact is, you know, we've been holding HBAR and looking into Hedera for so long. Back in 2021, it was a completely different world for Hedera. It was a completely different world for crypto. But back then, Hedera had practically zero marketing. Almost no one cared about Hedera. It was a ghost town of a platform, basically. I mean, like the ecosystem itself was, you know, non-existent. There wasn't a lot of tolling. There wasn't a lot of like major integrations. And today, this is completely different, right? Like it's crazy how big Hedera has become in such a short amount of time. I mean, we're almost at 500,000 followers. Hedera continues to make more and more noise every single day. And again, this is why I keep saying that it's a night and day difference going back to 2021. But that's also why I said, you know, some of these announcements that we're seeing from Hedera would have pumped HBAR, you know, 300+%. And don't worry, I do believe that we're going to get to that point again. But for right now, we just have to ride the waves of the market. And the waves of the market are that we are in the Ethereum phase currently. Altcoins are coming up next. But on top of that, we continue to see major updates happen with some of these integrations. For an example, on July 31st, we did get a big update that the AUDD, the Australian Digital Dollar stablecoin on Hedera, selected by the Hedera Council member AP Plus or Australian Payments Plus, is going to be utilized in that Reserve Bank of Australia's project Acacia. Now, if we look at this, we did get the press release on the 31st. This does quote a few things from the 19th of June, obviously. But the fact that we have these updates, you know, hitting this market. And by the way, the reason why July is such an important, you know, time for this is because the pilot will run over 6 months from July. And this will include real money transactions and institutional grade infrastructure. But the main thing that I'm looking at here is how we're starting to see these public ledger technologies be integrated and tapped in with these types of use cases. these types of use cases are going to reshape the way that money moves around the world. And if these networks are going to be the powerhouse behind all of this, think about what that will do for network growth and also the network effect. We already saw what happened with Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's network effect was simply people buying, selling, and trading Bitcoin. Imagine when the network is being utilized to process trillions of dollars. And no, that's not just a dream scenario. It's actually happening with use cases like, for an example, the one with Aberdeen and also Lloyd's Bank. It's no longer about speculating. It's simply about waiting for these things to hit the network at scale. Now, on top of all of this, right, we also have DeFi. DeFi becoming a huge reality on Hedera with Thrive Protocol, which we've talked about. But there's so much more left to be announced this year for Hedera. We're 7 months in, and I think that I have witnessed, some of the craziest updates around crypto, around Hedera alone. I mean, guys, I've been focused on Ondo, XRP, XLM, XDC, QNT, all of these great projects, and Hedera's over here putting them to shame with some of these announcements. This is why I keep saying that HBAR deserves to be in the top 10. I personally see HBAR becoming a top 5 project, but hey, I will settle for the top 10. The DeFi space for Hedera is exploding. The ecosystem for Hedera is exploding. The community for Hedera is exploding. Everything around Hedera is exploding. And all we have to do is wait for price action. And don't get me wrong, price action has been so far very good. We went from, 4 cents or so to 40 cents already. But I personally see, I really do see the HBAR price hitting the $2 plus range. It could easily hit $3. I think $2 to $2.50 is pretty conservative still for Hedera. I mean, think about some of these announcements. I mean, guys, it's crazy to me that this was, let me go back real quick. It's crazy to me that this was the summer so far. We're talking about 2 months, guys. 2 months of announcements, and this is how big the announcements actually have been. And don't get me wrong, even outside of Hedera, the announcements that we're seeing around crypto in the US alone are also massive. And it actually supports these types of projects and networks. I'm telling you guys right now, I don't think people realize how big this technology is going to be in just give it a couple months. Then give it a year, give it 2 years, 3 years. This market is ripe for so much more growth, so much more money to enter it. And these projects that continue to make so much noise and have real world value tied to them, these are the projects that will be the future of this space. It's not going to be meme coins. It's not going to be the hype and speculative projects. No, it's going to be projects like Hedera that constantly are innovating using the tech. This is why I keep telling you guys that utility should 100% be the focus at all times, because these are the projects of the future. These are the projects that will be worth trillions of dollars. Hedera is the real deal. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.